So you are standing in the command area of the green skin force. You've been fighting against the humies and the stunties and the gnomes for several days, um, and you've just failed to break through no man's land yesterday. And so, as you're standing here outside of your mechs, you can see that big boss Ugluk Irontooth has picked up your mech commander, who's been in charge of the mechs for a while, and he's got him up by the neck, um, up in the air, and then he like looks in all of your directions, makes eye contact with his squinty red pig eyes, and then squeezes, and there's a pop, and the mech commander's head explodes like an overripe melon, and he throws the body away, and it's quickly devoured by some of the wolves that hang around this orc boss. And he looks in your direction and he says, "We have been fighting the Zog and Stunties and Humies for 3 stinking days. Looks like Gitsnick here couldn't handle the pressure. Lost his head." And then he looks at all of you, expecting you to cackle and laugh as well, which I imagine. Yeah, he looks at you, Bugger, like you've laughed a second too long, and you should have stopped. "I'm sick of telling you, mangy gits to get the Zoggin hat. Not complicated. The Yumis and the Stunties have set up a blockade." He like points, and you can see that you're like behind several layers of trenches, and then there's like a no man's land, and then more trenches, and then the humans and the dwarves who are Stunties and the gnomes have set up their thing over there. Long battle that's been happening. "We's gonna send all the boys at once over the top, and they'll shoot at them and not at you." He like taps his brain like that's an incredibly smart plan that he's thought of. "Yous is gonna make it into the blockade, fight your way through. Get that, bring it back. Understand?"
Yeah, boss.
Yes, Iron Tooth. Yes.
"It's Tooth."
Of course, Tooth. Of course. Look, I'll go in, meanhead. He's fine. I'm covering for you just this once now, you hear? Next time, I'm not going to cover for you, and I'll end up being a like that one.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
He looks between you, and it's like if you've ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where they just are talking at each other and someone is still standing there looking at them. Like, you're all talking amongst each other and he's standing waiting for an answer. "You, little one,
Yes, sir.
you're in
That would be
charge."
Me, sir. Oh, yeah. Right. Brands.
"Brands."
Yeah, because I am the brands of the outfit, you know. As the smart, as a me thinking there. Yeah, right. That's my brother. Don't mind him. He's kind of a tiny git, anyways. Don't worry about it. Name's Dimsy. We ride in that one.
And yeah, you can see that they're slightly overconfident for their size. They're rather diminutive twins. One of them is a little bit more rotund, and the other one is a more lanky, like grin to grin eared sort of goblin, but way too confident for their stature.
Yeah, he looks at you as you give this diatribe like he wasn't asking for any of this information. "Right. What have you got to do?"
Fight through the blockade.
"And what?"
Get a hat?
"Yes, get the fucking hand." And in like his anger, he like swings his hand, and there's a little goblin who's bringing him a drink, and he goes flying. And then he like turns his back, and it's clear that you're dismissed, and you can make your way over to your mechs.
Before I go to my mech, I turn around and say, "Did you see the color of the hat we need to get?
It's shiny, 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 shiny. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so you move over to where your mechs are, and they're being cleaned and taken care of by grots, which are smaller goblins, if you can imagine such a thing. So they're like goblin size to you if you were orcs. Again, one step down, little tiny dudes, and they're running all over, and they're like in between the cracks in the mechs, and they're like cleaning things with like little weird toothbrushes and stuff, and like pulling out goo from previous things that you would have killed. You can see one of them is like, there's like a wooden part of the mech that's broken, and he's like spitting and then like trying to glue them back together and seeing if that'll work. And this is the level of tech you're dealing with here. So Baga, you come to your mech first. What does it look like?
Bogger's mech is a reclaimed ball of junk that he stands on top of and like maneuvers around the battlefield. And sitting next to it, sitting beside it, is this pile of armor and like a bag filled with just like stuff to throw. And so he starts actually, sorry, it's a barrel is what's sitting next to it. He sort of comes and like the little grots, like probably like dozens of them, like have this thing like lifted up on like this pulley, and this barrel is like swinging, and he comes and stands underneath it and holds his arms up, and then thunk, the barrel comes down around him, and he's like pops his arms through, picks up the sack of stuff of like sharp bits, slings it over his shoulder, and then climbs like this haphazard scaffolding and like stands on top of this ball of like garbage and just sort of does a few tests, like roll forward, roll back, like side to side. Okay. And looks across.
Skizix walks over to a pile of, you don't really know, it's metallic and it's very, very shiny. She's all about the shiny. In fact, a lot of it seems to just kind of be tinfoil, but no matter. She's got a stainless steel bowl for a helmet thing and a metal trash can with, they look like rusty bed springs stuck to the bottom. And she kind of wedges herself down in it, and it's got a couple little holes where you can see like a sort of gun-ish thing. It's really more of a copper pipe with some sort of elastic on the end, but we'll call it a gun. Why not? Be nice. Yeah, so she's got one of those holes on each side, but only one gun, so she has to switch them back and forth because, yeah. And she bounces up and down, and little pieces of tinfoil fall off.
Well, as I climb on it, it looks like the idea of an orc might have an elf with a long head and the ears. It has one huge claw that's ready to grasp stuff, and the other side that doesn't even have a hand. It's the gun is simply jammed on it. And as I pass by, I pick up one of the snotlings and I just throw it in the bag because there's a big bag of snotlings on the back, and I like that one, so I just throw it and add it to the bag. And as I climb on it, I open the mouth and I sit and I close the teeth. So that's what I can see through.
Perfect. The snotlings are arguing loudly in the bag, and you can see there's a fight has broken out between several of them in the bottom of the bag. Yeah, you slap it and they stop. All right, Brands, and Dimsy, what do you got?
So Brands and Dimsy make their way to their mech, and this mech is a amalgamation of a wooden are a cast iron wooden stove as the bottom portion, and then the top portion is a cauldron that has been like crudely welded together where they both sit. So Dims is climbing up into the top on the right, and Brands is sitting on the left, and then you see that they have on one of its mech has arms, but these arms are just like really rickshaking all sorts of junk and stuff. But particularly one arm seems to have a row of almost like skee ball-esque cannonballs that are like aligned to the sides, and another that is a blunderbuss that is just filled with all sorts of jam-packed with shrapnel inside of it. And he's like, all right, Dims, you row the right leg, I'll row the left leg. We'll be just fine. And they're actually up there rowing the legs left and right and moving them back and forth.
So the thing about magic and greenskins is they think it works, so it works. There's a collective idea that if every greenskin believes that these are powerful mechs, that they are. And so it doesn't matter what they're made of, they are incredibly powerful because you think they are, and everyone believes they are. And so even though it looks ridiculous, like to you, you can hear this like as you begin to like move out forward, like this incredible, we see a slow motion shot of the mechs like rolling in different directions, moving towards us, an explosion from one of the cannon shots from the humies that fires behind you. Slow motion shot of you guys moving out and onto the battlefield. So you have to get across no man's land, and there's probably a mile between where you are, or the edge of your camp, and the start of theirs. And as you like approach that gap, there's a whoa scream from Ugluk, and you see thousands and thousands of orc boys just running across no man's land in this massive pile, like no order at all. They're all just running in different speeds. Some of them you can see are pushing other ones back so they can get ahead of them. Like it's just chaos. And that's when there's this and that's cannons firing from the enemy, just non-stop, from dwarf cannons, human cannons, weird gnome technology all over, and orcs are flying in every direction. Like some of them, one of them like flies right past you and is like and like does a little wave as he goes by, and then like splats and like looks down at his arm and picks it up and keeps running, and it's just chaos immediately. So you're gonna have to cover this no man's land as quickly as you can. Now there's plenty of destroyed mechs and stuff already. You are not the first attempt at getting the hat, as you've seen. And Gitznik, who was your commander, was not in charge when we started this 3 days ago. So what I'll need first is everybody to make me a mobility check, please. And let me know if you succeed. So you're going to roll a d20, and you're going to try roll under your mobility score.
Yep.
Okay. Success.
Nice. Everybody good? Yep. All right, so there's this barrage. You can see it moving forwards, like massive plumes of earth and orcs being thrown up all over the place. But you're able to like dodge behind a previously downed mech. And actually, you tell me how you dodge out of the way of these explosions.
I go behind Brands and Dimsy.
Skizix has the springs under her. She's bouncing, and she's actually instantly moving far. So it's she's moving faster than the guys and jumping over anything that comes her way.
Yeah, perfect.
Typically, Brands and Dimsy would not be the most acrobatic-esque mech. They are fairly chunky and fairly difficult to move. But for some reason, they have been under cannon fire before. So as these move, he's like, Brian, move to the left. And they it's like, you ever played, God, what is it called? some people call it windows, where you move your whole body to the side of a car and try to smash. Yep, it's just as they turn, trying to smash the other into the side, and it tilts the body just enough and teeters it back to normal, and then they keep moving.
Yeah, one of the cannonballs, you can hear it go past you, and see it as well. Out of one of the many holes in your mech, you can see it sail past you, and then there's oh fuck, as an orc explodes behind you, and they're running all around your feet and stuff, trying to get past you and forwards. Bugger, how do you escape?
Bugger has, from the bag, from the sack over the shoulder, has pulled out this super chill cat, like a ragdoll cat, and it has this harness on, and he's strapped it to his face, and that's his mask/shield, and he's just running on this ball of garbage. These cannonballs are just going and just bouncing off this cat.
Yep. All right, so you've made it about halfway across, and you can see that there's a response from the enemy. There are 3 dwarven mechs moving towards you. They have one arm each that's a hammer, and the other one is some sort of cannon. Now they don't look particularly well made compared to yourself, obviously, but they are moving towards you pretty quickly. So we're going to roll initiative as these things try and take you down before you get into the trenches. So you're just going to roll mobility again, and tell me if you succeed or fail. Okay.
The foolproof thumbs up, thumbs down system.
Classic. Yep, can't beat it. Okay, so you can see them moving towards you, and if we weren't looking at it through your eyes, we would see genuinely very frightening and well-made mechs that are moving in unison, obviously well-trained, are moving towards you. To you, they look like ramshackle idiots who have built the most boring possible mechs, but they are moving towards you pretty quickly. They're going to be far at this stage. Bugger.
All right, so Bugger will close the distance. So far is 2 range bands away? No, 3.
3.
Close, near, far. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So Bugger will use a move action to make that near, and then we'll use the booster sprint module, which is just running extra fast, to move twice with a single action, and roll the reactor die, which I imagine the reactor die is basically reskinned as just a luck die until things fall apart, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's what it's going to be. Yeah, it's sort of the cohesion of your mech, and I guess everyone's belief that it's still working,
Exactly, yes. Okay, cool. Still good.
Okay. So you've moved 2, so you'd be close now. Right?
Yes, but I'll have to roll that twice because I used... Yeah, cool. All good. And yeah, I'm close now. Yeah, but that's it.
That's an action to use the booster? Okay. All right, so then it's going to be Skizix.
Right. The mech goes down and does an incredibly big jump and is then close because she's got the
Jetpack?
jump jets,
Mm-hmm.
and that means I have to roll a reactor die.
Yep.
And that's a 5, so I'm okay. And then she's going to use her cloak, which is actually a literal cloak, and it's sort of garbagey colored, like gray and brown and green and pretty much every color. And she kind of puts it over her head, and suddenly she's less visible.
Yep.
Bonus action, hide.
All right. Yep. So you're running forward, and you can see one of the dwarves is following you, and then the cloak comes up, and you look like a rock, and it's oh damn, and he misses, loses you, and starts to look in a different direction. All right. Brands and Dimsy.
Right. I'm gonna move up, and I'm kind of we're trying to just get past them, or are we engaging them in combat?
Well, I guess you're trying to get past them, but you'll probably have to deal with them. Yeah.
Okay. So
Your ultimate mission is to make it into their trenches, into the back where the hat is.
I'll keep moving forward. I'll do a move action, and then on top of that, once I get close, I will. Yeah, let's see if I just want to try to use it. I think it'd be fun. So as he moves up, you see that Brands and Dimsey are rowing this creature, this mech, into position, and he moves up to probably the dwarven unit that just passed Skizix. And as it begins to turn its head in that direction, Brands is like,
All right, brother, let's try out the cannon fodder. You know what I mean? I know exactly what you mean.
and you see Dims get down from he's actually coming out of the cauldron for a minute, opens up the inside of the wood fire stove, shoves some logs in there, lights it, and starts a fire. And then the other arm that had the cannonballs attached to the sides slides around the back, and a ball comes through the back of the furnace and sits inside there. And I'm going to use the chest beam module.
Great.
As it begins to heat up, it boils and boils, and then Dims moves back up into the top of the cauldron, and the dwarf turns its head to come at it, and I'm going to try and fire to hit this creature.
Okay, so I think that'll be power. I guess.
I have to test power. Okay, and that is a 12 on a 17, so
Nice.
I succeed. And then let's see. I need a D8. Where are you at? There you go, buddy. All right, not great, but I'll take it. That is 5 damage, and it is pushed to near range, and then I have to roll my reactor die, which is a D6.
Okay, perfect. So there's this.
Yep, I'm good.
And this flaming cannonball fires out and smashes into the shoulder of one of the mechs, spins it around, and it stumbles back a few steps. Then it's them. One of them's going to rush towards you, Baga, as quickly as possible, and it's going to lift this big hammer arm and try and smash you with it. So can you make me a mobility, please?
Whoa. Success.
So the hammer arm comes down quickly, but it misses, hits the ground, pulverizes an orc. But you are too quick on the back of your barrel. But the other one is right behind it, and it fires its cannon arm in your direction also. Show ability, please.
Whoa. God. Success.
Yeah, so maybe you almost fall, and you do a matrix upside down, and it goes over the top of you. The third one, which has been pushed back, is going to move forward, and it's going to try and fire its cannon at you, Kappa, since you're still far away. Going to have a mobility from you, please.
Yeah, I'm fine. 7 under 17.
Nice. So again, it you hear the, but it never connects, and instead blows a plume of orcs up into the sky behind you. And then it's your turn.
All right, so figuring that they're all, across the field in front of me, I'm going to pick up the bag, start spinning it like crazy, and I throw the gobos as in all the snutlings in their general direction. So the idea being that this is my missile barrage that flies, and you see all those little snutlings with hammers and chisels and things that they will land on the up. So 16. No, I managed to miss. I've got 16. So they land all around, and they just and start running back toward me.
Yeah. So yeah, some of them land. Some of them are pulverized against the mechs. They're like flies on a windshield. But others are on the ground, and they're deciding that they can't climb up themselves, so they rush back towards you and will rearm your missile launcher.
And the reactor holds, and I'm gonna just fire with I'm in range for my normal gun.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm going to shoot at the one that went to Baga because he's
Okay.
in close. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit. And that's it's a reclaimed bolter that we got, so it goes bada 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 toward the for 7 damage.
Okay, 7, nice. Yeah, good shot. Several hits will like pierce through the mech, and you can see the dwarf inside, and he's like shouting something in his stupid language. Okay, and then we're back to the top. Bugger.
Bugger stomps 3 times on the ball of garbage metal that he's rolling around on, and thunk, out the side, this sort of axe blade pops up, and he starts like spinning the ball horizontally as he's like rolling it around, and slashes it towards this this dwarf mech. Let's see, so that'll be test power, I guess.
Yep.
For the attack. 14. Oh, no, that's a critical fail.
Oh. Ooh, what happens now? Let's do something stupid.
Yeah, okay. That. What do we reckon? He can fall off the off the ball.
That makes the
and be
most
like,
sense.
Yeah,
you
can
can
miss
be
his
prone.
next turn, maybe, or
You can just be
yeah.
prone. Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
yeah.
So maybe you lose the footing, and the axe just goes and like scythe through like a column of orcs that are walking nearby, just and you have to like work to get it back under control. Okay, is that it for you?
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I love the thing that he falls off, and then like just as the blade's spinning, he just sort of misses it, and then is like lying on the ground, and it's like spinning around over his head, and like probably like the ball is crushing him, but luckily he's not getting sliced up, and he's like scrambling to get back on. And I guess he would spend his move action to like stand back up, clamber back up onto the top of the thing.
Okay, no worries. Skeezix.
So if you could see underneath the cloak and inside the little tin can thing, she has got a spitball ready, and it's lined up with her little slingshot pipe thing, and the end is just poking out of the cloak, and she, ding. How do I do an attack?
So you're gonna try and roll under your power. I think if you're hidden, you have advantage. So you get to roll, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I think if you're a scout, you also get to do bonus damage or something. Maybe.
Yeah, I deal an extra d6.
Yeah. So you're gonna try and roll under your power.
Well, I did on both dice, so yay.
Nice.
And that is 10 damage.
Oh
I think.
dang! Nice. Is that against the one who's which mech? There are 3. So one of them has been shot already by Kappa. One has been chest beamed by Brands, and the other one is unharmed so far.
Let's go against the unarmed one, or unharmed rather.
Okay. Yep.
And what is she gonna do next? You hear her go meep and kind of hides underneath the cloak again. And let me roll a reactor die to see if
Nice.
I.
So the spitball shot goes with like pinpoint sniper accuracy, finds a gap in the mech and like hits the dwarf directly in the eye. And you can hear him like swearing in dwarfish and like trying to like get his vision back, but he's badly wounded from that. Brands and Dimsy.
Brands and Dimsy are getting a little cocky. They begin to keep moving in. Right now, no one is, but no one's taken any damage right now, and nobody's in severe threat of. Right.
Yeah.
As far as I know. Okay, cool. So I think that the cannonball worked this time. He'll Brands will take over, and you'll see the right arm sort of slides down, and this blade comes. It looks like a blade, like a sword comes out, but it's not a sword. It's probably the equivalent of a large spatula, but then it has attached to it a old buzzsaw. So it's got rust on it. It's decayed, but that is going to be my equivalent to my my great sword weapon as
Okay.
he sort of brings this arm up over, and as it spins, and he's going to try to cut down this dwarf in front of him.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Definitely rolled under my power. And then it says +2 to attack and damage.
So you
So,
add 2, so it's harder to hit, but it does more damage.
okay. And then for the great sword, or for the heavy melee great beam sword, what do I roll for that one? I forget. It doesn't tell me on here what.
It's just a heavy weapon. Let me check.
It's a heavy weapon.
It's your damage.
Oh, it's just your damage.
Oh, it's just the damage die, right? Never mind.
Oh, sorry.
I know how to play this game, I promise. Okay. All right. That's not bad. Still another 5.
Okay.
Because I got a 3 on the die and +2. So yeah,
all right.
5 damage.
That guy's taken a chest beam and now a slap from the spatula buzzsaw, and he's looking in bad shape. There's like a rent that's been like pulled out of his mech, and like half the arm is like there's steam escaping from various places, but he's still going for now. Now it's the bad guys, right? Yeah. All right, so that one right in front of you, Brands, is going to try and step on the toe of your mech and then hit you with the hammer. So I need a mobility from you, please.
Okay, perfect. Nope.
Ooh.
Nope. That one's going to be, yep, I have a 13, and that was over.
My goodness, they hit something. All right, it's going to be 6 damage as the hammer comes down and smashes into the shoulder of your mech.
We can use the armor points to negate that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. Oof. Oof.
If you want to. You'll have a limited amount of them or whatever, so. Because it will get scarier as we go on. But it's up to you. I'll let you think about it. The next mech is going to rush at you, Bugga, as you're trying to climb back up onto your mech, and it's going to try and smash you with its hammer and flatten you. So can you make me mobility, please?
Oh, not today, not today. Success.
Yeah, it smashes again next to you into the dirt, but doesn't connect. The third one is going to fire its cannon at you, Kappa.
Oh, if this is the one that I hit, he needs to take 2 additional points of corrosive damage at the start of his turn.
Oh, dang, it is the one.
Because I spit on that spitball.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he will. You'll see he like lifts the cannon, and there's like, and like part of the mech arm is like melting away. But even so, there's like a, and he'll fire at you.
And I avoid it.
Okay. Yeah, the cannon is not at optimal working level, and the cannonball goes short. That was them. So then it's going to be Kappa.
How far is Bugga? Is he just 1 move away,
Yeah.
or?
Yeah, he's one.
Okay. So I'm gonna run that way and steady him on his ball. As in, take the huge hand and just go like with 1 finger, like there, you're stable.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna slash twice at the dwarf that's in front of him.
Okay. Nice.
So I managed to hit with the first one. Here we go for 7 damage.
Oh, that's going to do it. So that'll kill him. Tell me how.
So I grab its head. Basically, I ran in, stabilized him with 1 finger, and then from there I just ripped the end of the fingers right through the beard of the stunty, and popped the helmet off of the head. So, and there's just a dwarf headless going.
Yeah. He's doing like rude gestures as he starts to die, and his mech will fall. So there's only 2 remaining.
Is the other one too close, or as in can I?
Yes.
Because I've got 2 attacks with my claw. So can I reach the other one?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna try to use the fact that he's going like my friend just died.
Yes.
And I hit.
Okay, nice.
For 4 damage.
Gonna kill him too.
So in that case, I'm backhanding him to the ground, and he falls, and some piece of armor from Bugga's mech crushes him.
Yeah, so for some reason Kappa is not the leader of this expedition. It's Brands and Dimsy, but nonetheless, he's killed 2 mechs in one round here. And then it's going to the top, so Baga. There's 1 mech remaining. He's in combat with Brands and Dimsy. And it's all sort of close now.
Time to finish you off. He's gets his balance again with the help of Kappa and spins the ball over towards this remaining enemy, and that's going to be 11 under 14. So he'll hit with the hacker, this axe that's like just like, what is it, like those robot wars on telly where like people make robots, and you just got these things just like
Yep.
it's like this haphazard thing. Terrifying. All right, so that axe has the arc quality, which means I can roll my reactor die to make the enemy lose their next turn, but I'm going to reskin that as when. So I'll see if my reactor die goes down. It does not, and I'll roll my damage in a sec. But I'll reskin that as when this thing thuds in, like the a little cap pops open on the haft, and like these little what are those? The little like snotlings, yeah, a couple of them like come streaming out and like start shanking the thing, or like just start like grabbing on and restraining them. And that's why they lose their next turn. And my damage die is a D8. So it's only 1 damage. So glad they lose their next turn.
He will still be living, yeah, barely. So you can see we can see through the shadow of the mech, the dwarf inside. There's all these little snotlings, and he's like grabbing one and like smashes them against the wall. But there's like 20 of them, and they're like with little tiny needles, just like stabbing at him as he tries to keep his stuff together. That was Baga. So then Skizix.
Right, she's gonna spit another spitball, and she's sticking the pipe through the other side this time, and gonna plink it out. What is this versus again?
So you're gonna roll power for attacking.
Power. Okay, she misses.
Okay.
And then she's going to give an inspiring speech, and I'm assuming that she's close to Brands and Dimsy.
Yep, you're close to everybody.
So yeah, you gain an advantage on a single test made before the start of my next turn. And she says, "Yay, let's go! We can do this!" Totally, like, making it very obvious that this is not a rock.
Yeah, the dwarf is like, he looks for a second, he's like, damn, realizing that was not a rock all along, as he's like still fighting the snotlings inside. Like they're coming out of the goddamn walls. All right, that's gonna be Brands and Dimsy. You're next.
All right, so Brands, upset that his spatula saw did not work, says,
Dims, I think we need to bring out the big guns. The big guns. I got you, brother. I got you.
And he raises his arm now up, and you see that it is basically the equivalent of a gramophone that has been fashioned into a blunderbuss cannon, and it's been shoved full of just all sorts of shrapnel and everything. And he holds the end of the blunderbuss, or the end of the gramophone, to his mouth, and hold on tight, takes in the biggest breath he possibly can, and then and this sound, it sounds like nothing at first, but then a roar of just shrapnel as the blunderbuss cannon goes off.
Perfect.
And yes, I did. I rolled under my power, so that is a D8.
Ooh, okay, so that's pretty good now. That would be a D.
Okay, that'd be a 6 on the die, so 6 damage.
Okay, so there's this.
Oh, and then 8 damage.
8.
Sorry, because I had to add 2. Yeah.
Okay, so it fires all this shrapnel fires at the mech and just like totally shreds it. And inside, like a bunch of the snotlings are pulverized, as is the dwarf. And the mech finally like topples over. And you are free of these dwarfs, these stunty bastards who are in your way, and can continue moving onwards.
I opened my bag so that the snutlings come back and join mine because they felt lonely.
Yes, yeah, they run back over and they climb in, and like it's really full in there, but one of them like looks up at the top and like closes the bag, so he can be comfy in there. All right, so you're going to keep running towards the blockade and towards their trenches. Can I get one more mobility check from everybody, please, as another artillery barrage comes down?
I have 18 mobility and I rolled a 19.
Ooh.
A rare fail.
Woof. So it'll be 10 damage if you failed. As the one of these like massive cannonballs from, you can see like their camp, like there's trenches and then like a big hill at the top of which there are like all these like fancy human constructions of like cannons and like rocket batteries and all this sort of high-tech stuff that are ostensibly very impressive. And one of them will catch you like right in the barrel, I guess, and spin you around, and the explosion will burn part of your skin. Did you fail as well, Brands? Yep. So you'll also take 10 damage as well, as a cannonball collides with you.
Yeah. Now, Lloyd, how are we handling the armor in this?
So you have
if we
armor
use
points.
if we use it,
it's gone.
then it's gone. Okay.
Yep. So what we'll do is one armor point negates one instance of damage. So in this case, you could negate the 10 damage by using an armor point, as opposed to
okay, cool.
Because usually it's like you use 5 to reduce 5 damage, but we're just gonna because.
Gotcha. You got it. I will do that. I will do that then.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so some part of your armor manages to absorb the blow. You don't suffer the full brunt of the attack. So you're rushing across no man's land, and you can see that like some of the orcs have made it over into the enemy trenches, and there's all sorts of fighting going on there. Disciplined lines of dwarves and humans who are like well ready with like lines of musket men and all sorts of stuff are fighting against this horde of the boys who have made it across. And you are approaching that same place. So there is more sound now of artillery, though you're almost too close now to suffer it. But you can hear it so loud, it's like deafening as you approach this constant non-stop. So you jump down into the trenches. These are not ideal for mechs. So whenever you move, you're going to have to make a mobility check because it's deliberately uneven ground to make it hard for you to move around. There are 2 ways up towards where you can see the command tent is. To the right, it looks like there's the guts of the dwarven encampment. And the other direction is where most of the humans are. Now they are interspersed or whatever, but you can kind of make a decision here. Do you want to go for the humies or the stunties?
Do we know where the hat is?
Yeah, it's up. So at the top of this. So either way, it'll
beyond,
curve upwards.
beyond.
Behind. Yeah. So you'll have to go through one of these 2 areas to get there.
A distance is the command tent?
Too far.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a narrative distance that's too far away.
Okay.
Let's go I'll do it in character. All right. Let's take out some humies. As Bogger thumps down in a particular pattern. I think maybe like skids the ball to a stop and like sits down on it, like actually does like a sit and bounces up from his butt and then back to his feet and does that like 3 times and then spins around in place while the ball stays still. And then this seat pops up and he sits in it and it kind of gets half lowered down and as I enter vehicle mode, which lets me ignore difficult terrain
Nice.
and have advantage on mobility tests. So I can't attack until I use the use action to exit vehicle mode. But yeah, so he's in this. But I imagine like, how does that work? He's going to be rolling in this chair, right?
It works because you think it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Godlo hamster, and I love that.
Yeah,
It is
so-
the best.
Yeah.
Somehow you inside there, you have created a gyroscopic thing where you're not rolling, but the thing is,
Yes.
You think
Yeah.
it works that way, so it does work that way.
Yeah. When the chair's up, then he can stay steady while the ball goes underneath. Exactly.
Yep. It's the true power of the green skin is belief. So you want to go towards the humans, and you can see like you have to get over some pretty dodgy terrain. They've like deliberately, very craftily, changed the height of the terrain like randomly, so it's difficult for mechs to move across. And there are just like line upon line of musketeers firing, just poof, poof, and it's just like clink, 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 clinking against your thick mech armor. And you can see that behind those is a massive mech. It is in the like this golden statue of a man with long flowing hair and a hammer in each hand. As it's like moving forward, it's like a beautiful thing. And it stomps forward, and you can hear it like chanting, singing almost some weird human prayer. And it's gonna point a hammer at you and say, "No further greenskins," and there's like a wah from all the men who are around. By its feet, there is a tank that's powered by steam, some sort of little car or something, and it fires like a massive cannonball that sails past you. And then there are many smaller little mech suits that are like moving around its feet as they rush towards you. Let's fight. So mobility, please. This is a good system. I'm a fan.
It's foolproof. It's foolproof, my pretty.
Others don't know common, so it's a lot easier for us to use hand signals to tell each other that we screwed up.
I can just imagine Brands with the thumbs up and Dimsy with the thumbs down, just
No, you
sending mixed
idiot.
signals.
No, you idiot. This is why I'm the right brain and you're the left brain. This is how it works.
Let me just throw this list in here. All right. So, Kappa, you are first. There's this massive golden mech, as well as like many smaller mechs running around, and this tank. What would you like to do?
My first action, I'm gonna take the bag of snutlings and throw it amongst the guards, because there's those guardsmen shooting at our boys. They need to be taken care of. So I hit. So the idea is that the snutlings will. I don't know if you want me to roll damage for the against them.
I think you're fine. We can just narrative describe you like annihilating.
So the idea is that the snutlings just land in the trenches and start stabbing. And the poor guards, because they've got their flashlights on, trying to shoot at our boys, they break. As in, most of them just go like no, and despite their commissar going like,
Yep.
hear me. They just get shot in the back, because that's a classic.
Yeah, it gives a moment, just one moment is all the orc boys need to like rush across and get in there. When they're distracted, and so suddenly the orcs are among them, and then they're fleeing, and then you've got like priests and commissars being like, "No, fear me, but follow," and like shouting for them to stay, and then they're running away. There's chaos among the men there. Nice.
And I'm gonna then shoot at one of the tanks. So.
Okay, nice.
So no, I missed the tank though. I'm too busy looking at the man being slaughtered.
Yes, it's glorious. It's like you're almost like conducting it inside your mech, as you can hear like like just all these screams. Okay, Browns and Dimsy.
All right. I'm gonna try the chest. Well, no, you know what? Seeing that there is a massive amount of enemies in this space, and I don't want to get hit again like that. I think that I'm going. Are we all kind of gathered together for a moment in a space?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something that is more of protection for me and those around me. Is our Boga or
You're all close at the moment.
Yeah, we're all close. But I mean, okay, I'm gonna use a ability called Particle Barrier, and I'm gonna use that to protect me and one other mech. And then it lasts until I just diminish it or create a new one. So visually, this looks like this. You see like some blood dripping down from Bran's head.
We've took some damage, brother. I think it's time that we try to protect each other rather than just going in, balls to the wall. I know what you're talking about. Don't worry. Wink, wink.
And he goes in the back of the cauldron and he pulls out this fishing net. And this fishing net has mirrors like all strung in between it, and he'll fling it out in front of the mech, and it somehow just manages to gain some sort of rigidity as it hits the ground and begins to build like a mirror barrier around him and one other mech. And I still have to roll. I have to roll another reactor die to make sure that works. Yep, and I am still okay with that. So yeah,
Nice.
he there's this mirror sheen of a fish net is now sitting in front of him as he steals down, and they prepare to go to war for more.
Yeah, there's a barrage of like small arms fire from some of the men who haven't fled yet, and they like blink, 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 blink,
They're just
blink, dance against it. Yeah.
Shooting off the mirrors. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Nice. Boga.
Boga. So this is the like difficult terrain that his vehicle mode is meant to help with, right? We haven't already crossed that. Like
Yeah,
this.
that's still the case. So if you move, you'll be making mobility checks because it's uneven.
Okay, yeah.
You won't because you're a vehicle.
Yeah, cool. Okay, awesome. And so yeah, all the uneven ground, I imagine, Bogger is like just kind of pinball bouncing, basically, like, and he'll move. What he'll do is, so instead of having to sit on top or stand on top and like run extra fast, he like maybe has like this one lever that came up with the chair and he's like using it like a joystick. And so I think he just goes, just like pushes it forward and sort of leans forward like Segway style as it just goes, and just goes bing, 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 bing. And I'll use, what is it? The booster sprint. So move twice with a single move action. Roll the reactor die. That's still good. And so would that put me up in range with the giant mech, the big one?
Yes, you could. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So do that. And to attack, I have to make a use action to exit vehicle mode, though. So is this giant mech like at the end of this difficult terrain, or
yeah, sort of like if you imagine you come into the trench and it turns from your direction right and up, and there's like steps and stuff that'll make it very difficult for a mech to get there. He's at the top of this with the two hammers about to come down and rain down some glory. Now you're a vehicle, so you can move up steps without any issue, obviously.
Yeah. It's like the Stairmaster thing, or the like, what is it, the thing that just goes up the side.
Yep. So you can move.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you go up to the top of the stairs then, and then the chair sort of pops down, or like pops him up, and while he's like up in the air, the chair goes and hides away, and then he lands down on his butt and then bounces up onto his feet. And like has the sack full of stuff over his shoulder as he uses a use action to exit vehicle mode.
Okay, I think you still have an attack.
He starts.
Yep.
No, because I used a move action and then a use action.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. but I can attack next
I don't
turn
know the
now that
rules of
I'm
this
not
game.
in vehicle.
Don't tell anyone.
You get 2 actions of any type.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you've placed yourself in front of maybe the scariest enemy that you've ever seen. Who's next? Okay, it's him. So you can hear it like blasting. There are 2 like it looks like sort of like the gun that Brands has, which are like speakers that are just blasting prayers like really loudly as it takes the hammer and is going to try and smush you with it. So I need a mobility, please. And you're going to add 2 to this because he's very scary. Bugger.
But I don't have advantage because I'm not in vehicle mode anymore. Add 2 to it. Okay, so that's 11 under 18, so still success.
All right, so this massive hammer smashes the ground next to you, and you're like shaking on top of your thing, and then it's going to try and kick you. So one more time, please, another mobility.
+2 as well. So yeah, that's still a success.
Nice.
Just.
So again, the foot like moves, and you're able to dodge out of the way. This thing is massive, and clearly like a feat of engineering. But it's unable to catch you as you're too quick and wily and sneaky and cunning. Okay, that was the hammer. What's next? Steam tank. Yeah, okay, so further back, now moving forwards quickly, is this box-like contraption that's got a big cannon on the front of it, and it moves and sort of like zeroes in and spots Skizix and is going to fire at you. So can you make me mobility, please? And I think you have something because of Brands. What does your shield do? It's reduced damage, is it?
The particle, yeah, it's the it says you create a area of cover big enough for 2 mechs. So because it recreates an area of cover, it reduces any damage that comes in, if I remember
Okay,
correctly.
so if it's cover, you'll have advantage, I think.
Yeah, you have advantage.
On
Yeah.
mobility. Okay, so you can roll mobility with advantage then.
Awesome. Success.
Nice. So, but it sails past, doesn't connect, and smashes into a column of orcs behind you. The boys are still coming in insane numbers, non-stop, and there must be thousands dead already, but they're still on the way, chanting, singing, the whole thing. That was the steam tank, so now it's the little mechs. These are going to rush forward. There's 4 of them at the moment, and will there be more? No. They're going to rush forward and get at you, Bugger, since you're at the front. So I need you to make 4 mobility checks, please.
Oh boy, here we go. Success. So are there any of these +2?
No.
Okay.
That's just because he's
So
a big, scary enemy.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, so 1 success, 1 failure. Okay, so 1 failure.
Okay. These are like, you can see that they're men and they're in these sort of like, I mean, we would call them like an exosuit. Like the guy is in it and he's got like big steam powered like fists and legs, and he runs up to you and like just literally punches you with one of his steam fists. You'll take 3 damage from that.
Punches a hole right in the barrel.
Yeah.
As my armor point absorbs it.
Nice. Okay, Skizix.
Okay, she engages her little springs again, crouches down, and leaps over. Difficult terrain doesn't come into effect, nor does anyone get an opportunity attack. And she lands next to the hammer of Sigmar, and then out comes the cloak again, and she hides.
Okay, nice.
So that is 2 reactor die thingies. 1 success and 2 success.
Excellent. Okay, you're next to it, and you can like hear this deafening like oh, like prayer music blasting from it. It sounds awful to you, like hellish, like it's torture. But you can see that all of the dudes around are inspired by it in a big way. Kappa.
I'm gonna be with my hand. I'm gonna point at the guys in power armor, and I'm gonna and scream through the grill, "Dams! And all my little gobos that are already stabbing the men will go like and start running toward that instead.
Excellent.
So no need to throw them again because they're already there.
Exactly. Yep.
And I hit.
Nice.
So 4. So here's my 44. So 3, 5, 7, and 10 total. That is it one guy or is
It's
it
four. Four little
it's
guys.
4?
Yeah.
So I've got 10. So I'd say 5 on 2 of them.
Okay.
And on next round, they keep on stabbing. They're gonna get an extra 4 on next round. So
Okay, perfect. That's from corrosive, is it?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
corrosive,
Got
but
it.
you know,
yeah. Okay. They're just
some are more.
shanking.
Some
Yeah.
of the gobos are just persistent.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Brands. And Dimsy. Let's not forget Dimsy.
Yeah. No. It's fine. He's often forgotten about. And Brands will again kind of seeing. I'm assuming that all of us have now moved up toward the stairs now. Are
Yeah.
we moving? Yeah,
Yeah.
we were all moving. Okay, so
I
I
think
probably
so.
need to make. I need to make a move action then to move up further.
Yeah, so
So
you'll need to make a
I will-
mobility first.
Yep, I will take. I will have Dimsy pull back the shield since we've all now moved up. He'll pull back the particle barrier, the mirror wall, and I'll make a mobility check. Okay, that's a success, and then I will come up to one of the nearest ones to me as I'm moving up toward the stairs. And I will use the blunderbuss again.
Nice.
So Dims will get up off and he'll pack again a bunch of shrapnel from a bag, and he will fire again this blunderbuss of shrapnel, and that will be a success.
Okay.
And that will be. Let me see. Ooh, nice. So that'll be a total of 8 damage.
All right, yeah. So again, it just like shreds and like disappears one of these little mechs. He's like currently reaching up with his like big hand to try and grab a snotling off his face, and as he pulls it out and away, there's like a of all this shrapnel. He falls down to the ground. Okay, Bugger.
I don't care how big you are, you're not getting in the way of me and that shiny hat. Running as fast as he can. And just spinning the hacker, this like axe blade, until it becomes a glorious blur. Just trying to chop into this giant mech, and probably trying to like roll around and like roll up its leg a little bit and like thunk, 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 maybe trying to like climb the mech like with the axe, like going thunk, thunk, thunk. And I'm going to roll 2 attacks. So use 2 attack actions. So because I'm using the same action twice.
You are
I
adding
have to roll my
2 to
reactor
this as
die.
well.
Yes,
This
okay.
is scary.
And my reactor die is now down to a D4.
Oh boy.
So, cool. All right. So first attack. So that's a 14, which equals my power. So that's a miss. Come on, buddy. Oh, and then that's a 17. So that's 2 misses. So I guess he like climbs up, but it just doesn't like pierce the thing.
Yeah,
And
it's
he's
made of some
like-
kind of very powerful like steel alloy gold thing. And the power of prayer is keeping it safe, it seems. And the axe can't find purchase.
I imagine Bogger is like narratively kind of partway up this mech that's just so much bigger than him now, and he's kind of like hanging there, like maybe it's like he's up so far, or he's like come to an overhang part, and like the axe like is just like thunk, and he's just like just swinging there now.
You're just hanging off its knee, just like
Yeah.
All right, it is going to throw one of the hammers at you, Kappa. So you see it like, and it flies, and it's attached by some sort of like large chain, and you can hear it like click, 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 as it fires towards you. So mobility from you, please.
And I avoid it, so I go like, whoa!
Yeah, it thunks into the earth next to you, and then it's like a cling, and it like pulls it back and grabs it back in its hand. The other one, it's going to try and kick at you, Baga, as you're trying to climb onto it. Actually, it's going to use the other hand to try and flick you off it, I guess. But it's the same. So make a mobility, please.
Success.
It can't get at you. You're too close to it as you're attached to it, so it's like unable to like get a good strike at you, and you are still unharmed by it. The steam tank is going to and fire at you, Brand. So I need a mobility from you, please.
All right. Yep. Stayed under. We're good.
Okay. Again, misses. Sails wide, and there's a massive explosion behind you. If this thing hit you, it would be very scary, but it's not going to, it looks like. So they take the damage now, the rest of the guys? Kappa, right? From the...
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
An extra 4.
So 2 more of them will just collapse under the snotling barrage. One of them is like, get off me! Get off me! And you can see them just like, get. All these little snotlings will take them down. Let's see if more of these boys arrive. Nope. The last remaining one is going to try and punch you, Baga. So a mobility, please.
Success.
Okay. Yep. So you're too high up and it's trying to get at you. It like jumps up to try and smash you, but it can't quite get you. Skizix.
Okay, so once again, the little pipe sticks out the side of the blob of cloak and attempts to shoot at the big thing. And that is going to be a hit. Yay.
Nice.
Even without advantage, even though I had advantage and I forgot to roll it. That is 10 points of damage now, and it'll take another d4 on its turn.
Dang.
Because it's corrosive spitball. And then she's going to go eek and hide again because it's big and she's not.
Yep. So again with like pinpoint accuracy, it finds a gap in the overlapping plates of this thing's armor, and it goes in through like underneath the jaw of the thing's face, and obviously hits someone inside, and you can hear like a over the prayers for a moment of someone who's having a bad time in there. Kappa.
I'm gonna go forward because everything's happening far right now. So let's go
Yes.
closer. So I guess I need to go to roll immobility.
Yes, please.
So I'm fine for the mobility. I stumble a bit. I rolled close. So, but I'm fine. And I point at my gobos again, and I say, "Fix it! Fix it! Fix it!" So they start climbing on Bugga's ball, and I'll roll my reactor. My reactor goes down, but yours goes up.
Nice. The reactor die goes up by 1 Baga. As all the snotlings climb onto your barrel, and you can see them like picking up bits of stuff off the ground and like hammering into place and like fixing it as quickly as they can. It seems to be working back in tip-top shape.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, Brand and Dimsy.
All right. Yeah. So I have a feeling that he wants to go for the big boy. However, I can use a chassis ability and still attack, correct? I don't think
Depends
it
on
uses
what kind
an
of
action.
You get 2 actions, so you could use a use action.
Oh,
or
it's
you
a
could
use
attack
action.
twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So am I within range of the big boy on the stairs, or have I come up the stairs from my movement?
I
then?
don't remember if you've moved. If you've moved, then yes.
Yeah. So I would have come up the stairs.
Yeah.
Am I within range of the big boy or the tank?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. So I will say that as I come up the stairs, Brands looks to Dimsy.
There's a lot of firepower, brother. I think we should try something a little bit different, eh? You got it.
And you see him from the back begin to pull something over the top of the cauldron. So this lid kind of comes down over the top of the lid, and everything kind of gets nice and tight and centered. I am going to be entering battle mode. as a use action, I can enter battle mode. I have to roll my reactor die, but I reduce incoming damage by 1d4, and then I add 1d4 to all damage rolls going forward. But I'll have disadvantage on mobility tests because I can't really move once I'm in that battle mode space. So you see him sort of the top half of the cauldron section sort of tightens up, and the defenses are literally just a pot lid, basically putting a cauldron on top of a cauldron and hoping that he can see through it and to deliver another chest beam attack.
Hey, go for it.
I'll use that as my attack action. And I need to roll my reactor die for the battle mode change real quick. Yep, I'm still okay. We're good. And then under power. Yep, rolled under power for the chest beam.
Nice.
And then D8 for damage. Okay, that's a 6. Okay. 6 plus. No, it wouldn't be a plus, right?
No, it's not a large weapon. So yeah,
it's not a large weapon. So yeah, this cannonball fires out, and I don't think I'm going to use it against the main guy. I'm actually going to use it against the cannon or the steam tank in the back, trying to shoot for the arm of the tank.
Okay, perfect. Yep, it connects and fires, and you can see it's like shredded a bunch of the side of the tank. It's still functional, but definitely badly damaged. Bugger.
All right. Bugger's got to try and hack this thing up, right? See if, with the repairs, we'll do the same thing as last time. I'm going to make 2 attacks. So I'll roll the reactor. Okay, it's fine. Here we go. See if the axe makes purchase. There we go. That's a success. And second attack is a critical miss.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, my damage die is D8. So I rolled minimum damage again. 1 damage. But the little thing pops open, the little cap pops open, and some of the snotlings come crawling out and are trying to then get in between like the mechanical workings of this mech. So I'll roll my reactor die to make it lose its next turn. Reactor die is still good. Okay. So 1 damage and it loses its next turn.
All right, and for your fail, I'll say you like lose balance, and the next attack will have advantage again.
Perfect.
So the Hammer of Sigmar spends its turn just like trying to move its arm but can't, and then eventually there's like a pop and some snotlings are squished and it can move again, but it takes its whole action to do that. The steam tank is going to point its gun at you, Bugger, and it's going to fire with advantage. So mobility with disadvantage, please.
Yes. Ooh, fail.
Okay. 13 damage.
Are you sure you're still happy? I had 5 armor points, so negating 5 instances of every damage, you're still happy with that?
Well, I said it already, so I guess so, yeah. That's fine.
All right. Just to keep things interesting, I'm going to take that one as damage. I've also got 22 HP, so okay. I'll take that one as damage. So I'm down to 9, but I've still got 3 armor points.
A lot of armor points. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but oh well. Here we are.
That's all good. It's all good.
All right, let's see if we can get some more Steam Mech recruits. We can. All right, so 2 more of these boys come rushing over into the battle. There are 3 of them now. That guy has taken 4 from Snotlings. Okay. They're going to rush forward and try and batter you, Bran. So I need 3 mobility tests from you, please.
Wait, 3 mobility tests?
Yeah, 3 of
oh
these
my
little
God.
mechs.
And because I'm in battle mode, they have to be at disadvantage. Oh, Okay. This is going to be fun, guys. Watch me die. Okay. At disadvantage. Okay. Both of them. Let me take a look at my mobility real quick. Both of those succeed. Both of those. Okay, so one of the mobility checks failed, but everything else succeeded.
Okay, you will take 6 damage from that punch.
Okay. Yeah.
One of them has like they all have these like big mechanical fists, and like one of them is reaching into the mech and it pulls out some wires and like throws them away. And I guess one of you sees that and it's like, oh crap, we gotta fix that. All right.
Yeah, it punches into the top cauldron that's there, and like there's a big dent now. Oh, damn it all. Can't see out of this hole now. Shit.
Skizix.
Right. She is gonna pop out and attempt to hit the big bad thing again.
Okay.
And yeah, that's a success.
Okay. Now, it was corrosive last time, right? So it should have taken
Oh,
damage.
yeah.
What was it, 2?
Yeah. Hang on, let me roll a d4. Yeah, a 2.
Okay, nice.
And this time it takes 8 points of damage, and we'll take another 2 at the start of its turn. And yeah, she's gonna hide again.
Right. Yeah, so another strike, it's like not able to dodge as quickly because it's trying to get all these snotlings out of its workings. And another strike like thunk, hits it and it stumbles back. Kappa.
I was beside Brands and Dimsey, so what I'm going to do is I let my snotlings keep on working with Bugga, but I'm going to slash with my claws at the power armor that are around Brands and Dimsey.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with 1, and I hit. So here we go for 2 damage.
Okay.
And I will strike it again. I hit for 6.
All right, that will kill one. Yeah, so the claw will just slice through, I guess. Yep. Like a flashback to Big Bud boss Ugluk squishing your commander's head. It looks.
If he does it, it means it works.
Yeah, exactly. Brands and Dimsey.
Okay. Still, again, we're still in battle mode, and I'm gonna try to take that tank out. I think there are the enemies around me, but I want to take the tank out because I feel like it will do more damage.
Yep.
So I'm gonna aim. Brands will raise. We'll have the blunderbuss raised again. We'll shove another set of shrapnel in there and then try to shoot it out. That'll still work. I got a 14 on a 17, so they'll succeed in doing that.
Nice.
And then I think I have to roll my reactor die for that though.
Is it chest beam?
No, I don't. Yeah, no, it's not chest beam. It's just the heavy beam.
Nope, then you
cannon.
don't.
Then I don't. Okay. So then it will take a total of another 8 damage. Sweet.
Dang, that'll do it.
There you go. So this time he packs it full to the brim, and then I imagine there's probably like a harpoon in that shrapnel somewhere, and then just this piece of metal goes straight through the pipe of the tank and just separates it.
Right, there's a bunch of snotlings in there too, and you fire it, and they like land on it, and
You
they're
can
like pulling apart stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Bugger.
So was that the
tank?
That wasn't the hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the tank. Yeah. So Bogger's still like hanging from the hacker. Is this axe thing dangling from this giant mech, the hammer of Sigmar. And this isn't working. This can't get through the armor. Can't do enough damage. So, right, he sits down, like his legs like either side of the haft of this axe, and like slings over the sack of like sharp stuff from his back, and like. Pops open like this cap, basically like a fuel cap kind of thing on this that happens to be placed there right next to him, because of course it is on this ball, and just starts pouring some of this stuff, this shrapnel, like broken spears and like broken bottles and all sorts of stuff into this hole, and then closes it up, stands back up and starts spinning it around. And just like when it's on the chair in vehicle mode, it gyroscopically moves while the axe is still just lodged in there, and it starts spinning around like that's its axis. And these sharp things that are inside just start getting washing machined around inside, and then start just coming out of holes in this ball as he makes a ranged attack with the chucker.
Chaka.
That's a success.
Nice.
And that'll be my damage. And actually, okay, so that's 3 damage, but here's where my extra armor points come in handy, because I've got the Maverick pilot type. When I make a successful attack, I can choose to reduce my armor points by 2 to roll an additional damage die. So I'm going to do that.
Nice.
About a 1 AP. And so that total damage for that one attack is 6. And then I'm going to roll my reactor die so I can take a second attack action. And while the chucker just keeps on chucking. And that's also a success, even with the +2. And so I've only got 1 armor point left, so I can't do that again. So that's 2 damage total for the second attack.
Okay. Very nice. The hammer, realizing it's in bad trouble here, is going to the things on its shoulders, the speakers, get louder, and there's like a weird like rumbling, and then these like lights come out of it. I'm gonna need all of you to make a systems check, please.
Uh-oh.
I ain't good at that.
Okay, so we've got 2 failures. 8 damage, and you have to roll your reactor die if you failed.
Oof. Chunks come off of Bogger's mech as the last armor point is spent.
Yeah, just these weird lights. Maybe it's magic, even just striking all around. Okay, so that's its first action, and then it's going to try and swing one of its hammers down. I think this time at you, Brands. So mobility check, please.
Oh, and that's a disadvantage because I'm still in battle mode. I haven't moved out of it yet. Okay, well, they both were under my mobility, so
Nice.
I got a 5 and a 2, so
Okay.
success.
Yep. The barricade holds, and the hammer like bounce against it. The recruits, can we get more? We can. Boys. And 4 more of these boys coming in here. Okay. They don't have any corrosion on them, so they're all going to get 2 attacks. All right, so I'm going to need 2 mobilities from Bugga, 2 from Brands, and 2 from Kappa, please.
Double success.
Okay.
So 1 success and 1 failure for me.
All right, you'll take 6 for the failure. And you're good on the other 2? Kappa and Bugga? Good? Okay. Yep, so again, like they're swarming, and they're coming, they can see that the Hammer of Sigmar, their like sacred Lord Mech, is in trouble, so they're just coming from all directions, and you can see them like climbing over trenches to move, and they're all coming from different directions, and will likely keep coming until this thing is taken down. Skizix.
Right. She is gonna hop out from underneath her cloak and say, Baga, you are still on the big thing?
Yep.
You can do it! Yay! And you get advantage on your next test made before my next turn. And then she is going to jump up towards the wherever the command tent is.
Yep.
And as she does that, she's going to shout at the hammer, "You can catch me!" Nee, 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 nee. And so she is now far from where she was.
Okay, perfect. yeah, it booms out, "None can flee the gaze of Sigmar," and there's like a
RDM!
Kappa.
So the Brands and I are being swarmed right now, so I figure I'm gonna go crazy with the claws, and I will now remember that I can do 2 attacks per attack, so do 4, and go for all these armored boys that are around us. So I hit again. It's and yes. So.
Nice.
And I'm gonna roll my reactor for that for my second set of attacks. That's fine. And here are, and that's just my quick. So it doesn't that one doesn't have the it does not have the corrosion. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm just slashing like crazy with that thing in the middle of them, and punching them as much as I can. So 3 plus 7 on one,
That's one dead.
and then 7 on another one.
I'll kill another one. Yep, so just this rampage of claw, just tearing apart these zealots who are trying to protect the Hammer of Sigmar. Brands and Dimsy.
Brands and Dimsy have been taking some damage. You can see that the mech itself has now just been berated with number of dents and stuff as they've both been sitting in this tin can waiting to continue to attack. And I think I will take I'll have Brands take out the spatula buzzsaw and do 2 hacks at the nearest enemies. We'll do okay. They'll both pass, so I'll get two hits in, and that'll be okay, cool. So 6 damage on one and 8 damage on another.
All right, you'll kill one and badly maim another.
Yeah,
with the buzzsaw blade.
Following the absolute carnage of Kappa, you just see Brands kind of get inspired. Not today. You're not taking my brother and me tonight. Just slash.
You can feel the gaze of Gork and Mork, the gods of your people. One is brutal and cunning, and the other one is cunning and brutal. And you can feel them watching with admiration as you and Kappa just tear apart these humies. All right, that was Brands. Bugger.
All right. I think Bogger's going to just now Bogger's mech, this giant ball, is now like just kind of like a shell or like a spherical frame. Like there's not much inside it anymore because all the armor points are gone and the hit points are on less than half. So it's kind of like this skeletal sphere now. And the it doesn't even pop open the cap anymore. He just like pours some more sharp stuff from his sack just into like the open thing that is this sphere, and they're just sort of rattling inside and then just pinging out as he sort of is still spinning on it, but he's having to like like really staggered footing because he has to like stand on the little bits of scaffolding. It's not just a solid surface now, and these things are flying out while he shoots some more with the chucker. That is a success, and he's gonna do it. He's just gonna keep going. I'll roll my reactor die to take a second. Okay, that's fine. Didn't go down. I'm on a D4, so so that's 2 hits. All right. So
this is on the hammer, yeah.
Yes, sorry, on the hammer. Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
2d8 damage. That's 7 total.
It still stands. but so barely. You've like cut all the way through like one of the feet, and so it's like standing unevenly. And like one of the arms you can see is like won't move, but it's still going just barely. It's going to see if it can recharge its prayer cannon. It cannot. So then it's just going to wail on you twice with the hammer, Baga. So I need two
She's still
mobilities.
mocking it. Don't forget, she's mocking it from afar, and it did not take damage. Oh, right, I didn't do damage on it this time. Never mind.
What does the mocking do?
Nothing. She
Oh.
makes it angry. I don't know.
But don't you dare forget that.
You're right. You're right. Okay, actually, it will attack you instead because you're mocking it.
Ooh.
Okay.
So yeah, so it'll fire the two hammers on chains towards you. So two mobility checks, please.
All right, I'm at a far distance from it. So is that
That's okay. Yep, this
does
thing
that
can
give me
fire.
advantage or anything? Or
No.
okay. All right. So 2 mobility checks.
That's right.
Uh,
You're adding 2 as well because this thing is a scary baddie.
Okay. Well, 1 succeeds and 1 fails.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll take 8 damage from that hammer as it connects.
Awesome. It's going to take 1d6 from me with my reflective shielding so that it bounces back.
Okay,
So
amazing.
it takes 3 points.
So it fires the hammer, and as it comes back, like the chain is like broken in some way. It doesn't work right from the reflection, and so it comes back and it smashes into its own face, and it stumbles backwards, and then down the steps. You can see all of the recruits are like, "No, gods, no!" like screaming. Many of them are weeping, and they just flee in different directions. That the statue of their god could be destroyed in such a way.
Your music was bad.
Yeah. Amazing. Reflecting, taking it down. That's so good.
Oh, hell yes. Does Bogger need to roll a mobility check to see whether he got carried away with the mech while he was still lodged into it?
He does
or-
now, yes.
Okay. That's a success.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to disengage yourself enough to not be like crushed in the stampede that follows.
Yeah, I think he just pops a button or something or like leans down and pulls a lever, and like the handle of the hacker, the big axe, just like disengages and just gets jettisoned away.
The path is clear to the shiny hat. You can see as you like move up these steps and these muck paths. Your boys are far behind you now. You're the only greenskins in this place. And you can see at the top of this hill is this massive cannon, old Grimtooth, a dwarven cannon. It fires shells the size of your mechs, just enormous. And you are pretty confident that inside this castle cannon is the shiny hat. There are like mechs swarming around at the bottom of it, like keeping it safe. And as they see you approach, you can see one of the dwarven mechs. There are 4 other dwarven mechs that have like a big shield, and they're carrying this king dwarven mech on top of it for no reason. It doesn't make sense, but that's what they're doing. He's got like a big shiny axe, and he's like pointing like, "Onwards, take down the greenskins!" So there are several things happening. Overhead, there are all these like dwarven gyrocopters that are flying, and they're going to be doing strafing runs towards you as you're fighting here. The objective here is to destroy the cannon, inside which is the shiny hat. But there are also other mechs that you're going to have to deal with. Is there anything you want to say to each other before this final combat, because you think this might be the moment?
Whee! This could be so much fun. This could be so much fun. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go. She's totally on speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, she's been dipping into the mushroom tea, I think.
Brands, I think, looks to his brother.
If we're gonna die today, brother, let us die for our Gubbo Queen, eh?
And then they share this moment where they lock hands in between each other.
To the Toe Miko, may she be our favorite. For Tomiko, I hear you. Let's do this.
And they begin to stumble forward.
Okay. Glorious. So let's do one final mobility roll for initiative here. All right, excellent. And we've got
That was incredible, chat. Tamiko's just seen it in the chat.
Yep.
Gobbo Queen.
Yep. I had to. Love you, Tamiko.
So good.
all right. All right. So, Kappa, you can see ahead of you this massive cannon. It's like the size of a castle. It's just unbelievably huge. And you think, there are dwarves all over it, swarming all over it, but it must be in there. If you can pull that thing open and destroy it, you can find the shiny hat. Now, Uglik hasn't told you what the shiny hat is, but you can hear and feel that there's something powerful about it, even here. You can hear this whispering, "Find me. I will give you the power you need." This is what you can hear as you approach. There's this massive cannon. There's also overhead these like dwarven helicopter type things, and several smaller like dwarven mechs with hammers, and then this king of dwarven mechs carried atop of a shield by 4 other mechs.
I open my bag and as I walk forward, come here, get back in, so that the snotlings refill the bags. I pick up some of Bugga's that came out of his weapon earlier. I pick up also some scrap metal that's just all over the place because it's gonna hurt more. And I start spinning. I'm gonna try and throw my gobos, my snotlings, beside the cannon and beside that dwarf on his shield.
Okay, perfect.
See if they can do stuff there.
All right, go for it.
I hit, so 7 under 16, and here are the 4s. So which one is that? So that's 1, 5, 7, 10, and I'm gonna burn 2 armor points and add a D8 to this.
Hey.
So, but that's only a 2. And there's gonna be a 2 damage for the persistent gobo snotlings on the next once it's their turn to move.
Okay, and this is going on the cannon or on the king?
My idea was if I can make the king fall from his shield, that would be nice.
Okay. So it was, sorry, I didn't get the total. I missed it.
10 plus it was 12 plus
Okay.
2 in the next round.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. It's a big hit. And the snotlings are crawling all over, and they're like pulling at the metallic beard of the king's mech. They're crawling underneath inside, and you can hear him like swearing in Dwarvish as they're hassling him within. That's excellent. Skizix.
Right, it worked before. She's going to shrink down on her springs and then spring forward to land somewhere near the cannon. And then attempt to hide again.
Okay.
So that's 2 rolls of my reactor die, which is down to a D4. And the second one I didn't pass.
Uh-oh. Okay. Now we get some bad news.
Yeah.
Where's the... overheated, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're effectively your mech is in bits. It's overheated. It's not working properly. So you can't take actions. You have disadvantage on tests. And if you skip your next turn, you can cool off and regain your mech situation.
It's very hot in this tin can.
It must be unbelievably hot. Yeah, you've been bouncing around so much. Okay, that's Skizix. Grimtooth. This cannon is going to like rotate, and it's going to fire a massive shell the size of your mech at Bugger. Sorry, Keel.
Oh boy, bring it on.
I will need you to make a mobility +3.
3, okay. Success.
Okay, excellent. So this massive explosion rocks up behind you, like a massive plume of earth fires up into the sky. There's like fire and explosions, and it looks really cool because you're not hurt by it and you're just moving towards it. Then the gyrocopters are going to fire down upon you all. So I'll need a mobility from Kappa, Brands, and Baga.
So even though my reactor, I failed it, I still am hidden.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
So it happens, and then it. Yeah. Okay. So you failed. Okay. You'll take 4 damage, Kappa. The hammer mechs are going to rush forward and try and surround all of you, rushing specifically towards you, Bran, since you have the biggest mech. So I will need you to make 2 mobility checks and 1 from you, Kappa.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. So they rush forward. These are like the ones you fought on the No Man's Land earlier. Dwarven mechs with like a hammer for a hand. But you're well used to them and you're extremely elite mech pilots, so you're able to avoid them without any issue. The king will move forward, the 4 mechs carrying him on top of his shield, and he will like point his axe. And as he points it, it will fly from his hand. He's going to throw it at you, Baga. So I need a mobility check, please. +2.
Oh boy. Success. 13 under 18.
Nice. It flies past you. And another axe appears in his hand, and he throws that this time at Brands. So a mobility from you, please, Chad. Okay, you're good. The
That is
axes
a
are flying.
critical success, by the way.
Oh,
That is
nice.
a nat 1, so I don't know if that changes anything.
I'll give you advantage on your next attack. The axe lands perfectly next to you, and you can like reach down and pick it up and look at it sort of gloriously.
Yes. Can I
okay.
throw the hammer of Thor back at Thor? Hell yeah.
Bugger, you're up.
Oh boy. Okay. I think Bogger's MO is to go for the biggest, scariest baddie. So, oh no, actually, I think he'd want to go for the old Grimtooth is like the castle-sized cannon, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think rolling on over there. I narratively said that he abandoned the axe, didn't I? Maybe there's
You can
a
pick
second
up the
one.
one that landed next to you as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. Yeah. So he'd quickly, like leaning on the ball and sort of like reaching down and picking it up. Maybe with the help of some of the snotlings, grab that and just like affix it on to the ball and roll on over. So would that be 1 or 2 range bands?
1.
Okay. So use move to do that, and then come on, and that is a hit with the hacker.
Nice.
So all right, D8 damage. Hey, max, that's 8 damage.
Nice.
And what's the ability? Even though it's
Mark?
Yes. Even though it's a different, narratively a different weapon, we'll still do that. That's I can roll my reactor die to make them lose their next turn. I will, even though my reactor die is only a D4. 50-50, baby. Okay, still good.
Nice.
So that it loses its next turn.
Okay. And it was just the 8 damage?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That was Bugger. Brands.
Yeah. So Bronze is seeing he's surrounded by these enemies as well, right?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like narratively they're everywhere. There's like three
Yeah.
of them mechanically, but they're all over the place.
Yeah. My idea though is to try and if I can take out the king, maybe they'll disperse. So he will attempt he looks to Dims.
Hey, Dims. Hey, look. Grab that. Hey.
And Dims will attempt to reach one of the arms down and grab the axe, and then he'll shove the axe into the blunderbuss to use that as the shrapnel and fire it back. So do you tell me as far as damage if I hit what that causes, but that's
Okay.
what I'll do.
Yep.
Is I'll say that he's going to attempt to fire the axe back through there. Yeah, and so I got a 13 on a 17. So
All right. So I'll say it's an extra dice of damage.
an extra die of damage. Okay, cool. So 2d8s. Okay, that's not great, but that's pretty big money. That'll be a total of 10 damage then with the +2
All
to
right.
the blunderbuss. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so the axe and like right into the chest of the king's mech, and he like stumbles and falls down into the shield and then pulls himself back up. Still standing, but barely. Kappa.
So there's tons of dwarves around us. There's the gyrocopters still flying all over the place.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna clear the area around Bran so that he can still shoot at the king. So I'm gonna go crazy on slashing.
Excellent.
On the first, so that's an attack. That's a success. I'm gonna roll my reactor for the second set of attack. It's fine. So that one fails, and that one fails also. So I'm gonna go. So 6 on the first attack.
Okay.
And 6. So that claw is getting handy. So it's just like so 6 on the second one.
Okay. Do you want to do it both to the same guy or two separate ones?
Two separate guys.
Okay. Yep. So you've badly damaged 2 of the mechs, of the smaller dwarven mechs that are fluttering all around. But they still stand, but barely. Ezek has gone to fire break. So we'll go to Old Grimtooth, who skips his turn. You can see that like the snotlings are inside now, Grimtooth, and they're like pulling at things and trying to get it to work, or not work rather. And you can hear them like trying to load the cannon. And Skizix, your turn.
Just in time.
Yep.
Nice. So wait, we already went through the whole round that I had to miss? Wow.
Oh no,
Okay.
so did you just miss a? Oh right, because you're
Yeah, because I overheated.
okay. That's fine. So
Well,
you're
She's hiding underneath her cloak and cooling
Yeah.
down.
it's working. You're working on getting it fixed. Okay. The gyrocopters. I'll need checks from Bugga, Kappa, and Brands, please. Ability. Okay. So they're dropping like rocks. Actually, some of them are dropping bombs. Others are dropping rocks, and they're just like. But none of them connect. The hammerer mechs are going to go nuts on you, Kappa, since you went nuts on them. So I need 3 mobility from you, please.
Success, failure, and success.
Okay. He'll take 8 damage.
I should have
from-
finished that one off.
Yes. He'll take 8 damage from one of them as a hammer connect. King Grungus Whitebeard is going to reload an axe, and he's going to move forward on his shield and try and swing down at you, Bugga. So I need a mobility from you, please, at +2.
Success.
Yeah, you manage to dodge out of the way as the axe comes down. He's like shouting dwarven chants about killing greenskins, singing songs, but it's ineffective against you, and it's your turn.
Oh boy. So yeah, dodging around with some fast footwork, with this axe swinging. Will, after dodging, sort of race back in, trying to connect this axe. Oh, critical hit.
Nice.
All right. I think that's double damage.
Yep.
And then, is it +3 for the old Grimtooth?
Yes.
Okay, so the second one's a miss. So critical damage. Should I roll it and double it, or roll 2 dice, you reckon?
What is more fun?
I rolled a 6, so let's double it.
Okay.
12 damage.
Nice. Yeah, a devastating strike. You like hack in, and you like pull some of it out, and you can see that inside there's like a bunch of dwarves who are standing, and they have like muskets ready, and they fire at you. But you can see behind them there's like this chest that's like locked, and inside you can hear, "Yes, bugger, come closer, free me." And can you just make me a mobility from all these muskets that are prepared to fire at you?
Indeed. Success.
Okay, yeah, they plink against your super effective mech armor, unable to do any damage. Brands.
Brands is seeing how many are gathered around, and the king is still standing, correct?
Yes, barely.
Okay, barely. Okay, I'm gonna try to take the king down.
All right.
In this round. First thing I'll do is I will set up the particle barrier.
Yep.
Because we're getting surrounded, and I just want to be able to protect me and Kappa from future scenarios. I'll go ahead and do that. And then, so again, Dems opens the lid of the cauldron lid, and then like throws out this mirror net again. And then I'll use the chest cannon to attempt to. So I'm gonna have to roll my reactor die twice because I'm using both of my modules. That will work. And okay. Oh, hey. The cool thing about being a vet, guys, is that if I roll a 1, that's the only time my reactor die goes down. So my reactor die now goes down to a D4, unfortunately. Okay. So, okay. But yeah, either way, the chest beam comes out, and he will take. I still have to roll my power, right?
Yes, under, yeah.
Yep. So 7 plus 3, you said, to hit? Is he a +3 to hit?
+2 for this guy.
+2 to hit. So yeah, 9 still. So I'm still going to hit him. And then that'll be 7. Or no additional damage. So 5 damage from the chest beam as this boiling hot cannonball comes out of the wood stove furnace and shoots forth toward this king.
It goes right through his chest and out the other side, and there's like a hole. And you can see inside that there's a hole in the dwarf also, who like looks down at it and back up, and then dies. The king falls from the top of the shield, clang, clang, and there is much chaos. And so
both the boys are just cheering. We did it! We finally did it! We're gonna be a success! I can't believe it! Look at what we've done for Tomiko!
The king, Grungus Whitebeard of the dwarves, has been slain, and we go to Kappa. You're muted. You're muted, Jeff.
There we go.
There we go.
So, as I was saying, I'm firing in the sky just to, celebrate. As I call back my my snutlings, so that they come from the back of all those armored guys that are in front of us, and so they try to jump them, and I hit.
Nice.
So let's go for my D4s. So let's go. So I've got 3, 3. So 6, 10, 13. So I don't. I'm gonna go 2 for the guys that are already injured.
That will kill them.
Okay, and so that and the 13, that means I've got use 4, so 9 on the other one.
Ooh, that will kill him too. The hammer mechs swarmed by snotlings. They're like climbing in all the gaps, and we can like hear them like and as they're like shanking with little needles. And the hammer mechs are dealt with.
And I'm gonna walk forward for a second action. I'm gonna start walking forward toward Bugga and Skizix.
Okay, excellent. Skizix, your mech has calmed down.
Yes, it has calmed down. How far am I from the? You said there was a chest.
Yeah, so you can see that Bugga has ripped a hole open in the side of Old Grimtooth, and there's like a bunch of dwarves in there. And behind them, there's this chest that's like locked with like it looks like arcane weirdness, and that's where you can hear the voice too of the shiny hat.
Must get the shiny hat. So she's going to use her springs again to try and bound through the dwarves because they do not get an opportunity attack.
Nice.
Let me roll that reactor. I don't go back up.
You go to 1d4.
To like a d6. I'm still
Yeah.
a d4. Okay. And yeah, it's a 1. So
so you jump, and then you're like, haha, and then the mech goes, dum, 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 dum.
And I am powered down in the middle of a bunch of, well, not powered down. I'm overheated in the middle of a bunch of dwarves.
Right, there's just like steam in every direction, and like bits of you are on fire, but yeah, you're still there. Grimtooth, now unable to shoot at people inside of it, the dwarves inside will attack instead, so they're going to fire their muskets at you, Skizix, so I need you to make a mobility with disadvantage.
That's a fail.
Yeah. Okay, 5 damage. Because you're not moving and the mech isn't activated, they're able to get a good shot in. And then it's the gyrocopters. So just outside Brands and Dimsy, I need both of you to make a mobility check, please. No.
Brands and Dimsy or Kappa and Dimsy?
Kappa. Yeah.
I mean, we're basically 3 people in one mech suit now. Success for that. Also, Lloyd, there is a special ability for me that I'd like to use maybe next turn if possible. It says for its kinetic reactor, if my reactor die goes down at any time, I can choose to deal 1d4 damage to a close or near enemy. Okay. So next round, I'll designate another d4.
Sounds good. Bugga, you can see the chest ahead of you. Skizix has fallen still in front of you. There are dwarves swarming all around beneath you, but the chest is ahead.
I don't care who you worship, that shiny hat is mine. And Bugger will try and blast through these this like wall of dwarves to get to this chest behind them. All right, I think it's all with reckless abandon. So that will be a hit, and we'll do that damage first. Yeah, because I assume I can't just like try and.
You could take a bunch of opportunity. You take an opportunity attack if you wanted to just go through them, like ignore them and go through the chest.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Let's just try and do that. Yeah.
Okay, mobility then, please.
Okay, I'll re-roll it. I won't use the one that I just succeeded. Okay, that's still a success.
Okay. Yep. So you, they like fire at you, and there's some of them with like pickaxes that are like trying to get into your mech. But you moved over them and through them, and in front of you is this big chest. You'll need a systems check to open it.
Oh my god, are you joking? My system is 6.
He's like, I jump-started my system.
I rolled, because it's 3d6 down the line, I rolled really high on mobility and presence and really low on system. Let's go, here we go. Okay, that's a hard fail.
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's not just locked with chains, it's locked with like dwarfen magic, you think. And you're like looking at it and you're asking Gork and Mork like for their cunning and brutality and their brutality and their cunning, but you're unable to get it open, unfortunately. It's guiding you, it's telling you like, no, you must break the seal. But not this turn. Brands.
Okay, Brands is gonna Dims and Brands are gonna pull the particle barrier, because as soon as Kappa moved, him being stationary was not necessary. So he'll move forward, and they'll kind of begin to move into this space of these other dwarves that are around Skizix. Again, putting himself in between Skizix and the damage. And as he does so, one of the dwarves that are coming down upon Skizix, he'll like move up, and the forge, the furnace in front, will kind of belch, and a fireball will like erupt in their face, either blinding them or something, and that D4 damage. And I rolled a 4,
Nice.
big old fat 4 on the D4 damage, as he kind of slides the mech just slides in front of her.
Don't worry, love. We got you. I make sure you're taken care of. Don't let him talk to you like that. He's not all that good. He's just my big brother. Don't let him talk in sweet. You're not a sweet talker. I'm the sweet talker. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, yeah. The fire shoots out, melts a couple of dwarves, and they're almost gone inside here, and it's almost just you. Outside there are still the gyrocopters, but for now it's Kappa's turn.
Well, those gyrocopters are a pain. So I just start, throwing snotlings and scraps of metal. I pick, the king and throw it up. Just try to, give them ammo so that they can throw it back down at me. But the idea is that to try and do damage. So I'll use the missiles.
Mhm.
So I hit, and come here, gyros. So 4, not a big hit. So 5 damage. That I is it one gyrocopter or
3.
you have it as a swarm, or
Yeah, 3.
3? So I'll do all of the damage on one.
Okay. Yep. One of the blades of its thing, and it goes flying. But there are still 2 up there. All right, Skizix. Oh yeah, you got to get your mech under control, or you could try and get out of the mech and open the chest if you wish.
That's a thing I can do?
Yep.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so you climb out and you move over to the chest. You can make a system check.
Fail.
Okay. Yeah, it's complicated. It's all dwarven runes. Who knows what the hell it is?
We are all the dumbest of rocks, but we
Yeah.
are the rocks indeed.
This is the stupidest chest ever. Stupid chest. Open up, hat. Open up.
The dwarves are going to fire upon you, Bugga. So I need you to make me a mobility, please.
Success.
One of them tries to fire like a little scorpion catapult at you, and the harpoon just hits the other side, so they miss. The 2 gyrocopters are going to fire down at you, Kappa. So I need 2 mobility checks, please.
So I've got a fail and a success.
Okay, you'll take 3 damage as a rock drops down and hits you. And then it's Bugga.
Okay. Open. Just going to try one more time. Oh, that's another hard fail.
He's just
yeah,
like bashing it with his
unknowable.
fist. Like,
Yeah. Just like emptying some sharp things from the sack onto it. Just like trying everything, yelling at it.
you could try and blast it open, but I think that would maybe destroy it. So it's smarter to use systems.
Yes, yeah. How I still got second action, so I just have to roll my reactor if I want to try that again. But how big and heavy is the chest itself?
You could lift it in your mech. Yeah.
Okay. I think he'll do that.
I think you can also assist.
Boggerens.
You could like assist Skizix and open it.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. I think. We are the best of the best, Skizix. Come on. We can figure this out.
Okay, so that'll give you advantage, Skizix, on your turn when you're trying to open it. Brand. You're also in this room now. There are still a couple of dwarves running around. There's like a little scorpion.
I'm gonna handle how many dwarves are left?
Like 30 or something. But they're like not in mechs. They're just walking around.
Right. I'm gonna try to handle I want to get to the chest, so I'm gonna try to move through. But as I do, I want to try to take out as many dwarves in here as possible.
Okay.
So I will do 2 attacks. One with the spatula blade, and then one with the shrapnel gun.
Yep. You don't need to do 2. I'll just tell you, they have 6 hit points left, so you don't need to do 2 attacks.
I'll just do 1. Yeah, I'll just try to do. Basically, just take a big old. Instead of cutting sideways with the blade, I'm going to use it like a fly swatter and just smash them against the side of this cannon tunnel. If I hit, and I do, yeah. So yeah, it's just him taking this wide swing with this spatula blade, and the squish of a dwarven's helmet as it of a dwarf's helmet as it just smashes into the wall. I imagine it's very similar to like Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy, where he's like smashing them across the sides. Exactly. Just and then everything goes quiet and he moves toward the chest.
But you can attempt a systems check as well if you like.
Yeah, I will certainly do that.
Okay.
Dims sort of gets out, and then Brand's also following suit, gets out, and the mech just drops to its knees essentially. And then Brand's is like,
all right, brother. All right. Look. We clearly know that you're the dim one of the 2 of us. So let me take a look at this first. And he's like, excuse me, watch out.
Yes. I got an 8 on a 13.
Nice. All right. So Brands is brainy. That's what we know. And you're able to like look at this complex dwarven puzzle, and Gork and Mork are with you, and you're able to like move it in the correct way and like activate the correct things, and then the chains fall off and you can open it up and there's a crown in there. It is a shiny hat, most definitely. It's made of some sort of black iron, and there's like a skull set at the center, and it whispers to you, yes, Brands, put me on. You found me.
Oh boy, I gotta turn the music off because it's not fitting. This song is not fitting for the epic that is happening right now.
You are the smartest of all the goblins. That is why you are called Brands.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I am the smartest. And they don't really realize that until later, do they? No, they don't realize that at all.
No one understands you except for me.
You're right. They would not want it if I had it. They would not treat you right if they had it. I get to wear the shiny crown now, right?
Yes.
Yes. Can't tell my brother, though. That's a secret, so we can't say that. But what happened? I'm going to try it.
And Brands will slowly lift this crown, and he like turns to look at the rest of you that are in this tunnel. I am king now. Praise me for my brands.
Your presence and systems increase to 20. And you understand all languages. You can speak telepathically and a bunch of other shit. It's a crown of sorcery. And you have become much more clever than you ever have been.
There's this moment where he like sinks into himself. It is the little, like the tiniest little wee babe of a gobbo that like eventually forming into, you know, the two twins of Bronze and Dimsy, and he just relives his entire life sequence all the way up to this, and then it's the entire life sequence of all gobbos ever to be in existence. And then he stops and looks just completely dead-faced for a moment. Hey, brother, wake up. What's wrong with you? You put a hat on, you changed your whole life. What's up with that?
Oh, brother, I have lived a life. I have seen the gloriousness.
And it's completely a different... He's like, where are you learning these words, brother? I never heard nothing like that.
It is because you are not enlightened, brother. You are not brought to the hat, the shiniest of hats, the most glorious of hats. If I could give you this, I would, but this brand, this crown calls to me. I must keep it for myself, obviously.
You can expand your mind, and the two gyrocopters outside, you can wave your hand and they will crash.
Yeah. He's like, come, I'll show you how impressive this is.
And he starts walking out like very cocky.
No, leave the mech. We don't need it anymore, Dims. We don't need it anymore. I promise you. Watch.
Yeah, this like firestorm appears and like burns a bunch of the cannons, and like this insane magic, like unbelievable, tearing the world, it seems almost, as like meteors rain down. And Brands becomes the sorcerer king of the greenskins. And I think that's probably a good place to end it, I think.
Oh my god. Amazing.
That's just ridiculous. So awesome.
Was a very shiny hat.
I think there's a small little epilogue, right, where they finally come back to the compound after everything's all done, and he sees the commander.
Oi, give me that.
I'm sorry. I don't believe that you deserve this hat, good sir.
Okay, and that's
I believe
it. That's got to be it.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, what?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Okay, thanks very much for playing, guys, and thank you to everybody who watched. Catch you next time.